it's a very difficult situation, and a lot of folks facing some serious hardships.
Over 200 wildfires continue to burn in the Northwest Territories, most with a high or extreme fire danger forecast. Earlier this afternoon, evacuees from the wildfires started to be flown to Alberta, and Saskatchewan could see evacuees there as well. The fire closest to Yellowknife is within 15 kilometers, and winds are pushing the fire towards the city.
We've got some tough days ahead in terms of conditions. There's no denying that. We have 2 days of northwest to west-northwest winds on Friday and Saturday. Those would push fire towards Yellowknife, of course, and that is precisely why we project that the fire could reach the outskirts of the city by this weekend.
Westwick says this year's fires have started closer to communities than ever before.
The human toll of this wildfire season is pretty difficult to overestimate. We've had big fire seasons like this where we've had millions of hectares of land burned before. 2014 was quite notable in that over 3 million hectares of land had burned. However, this year, so many of our fires have either started very close to communities or eventually encroached upon communities due to the extreme conditions we're seeing out there. And that is, it's a tragedy for a lot of folks.
APTN video journalist Charlotte Morit-Jacobs, who is currently on maternity leave, lives just outside of Yellowknife and is set to evacuate with her young child tomorrow.
We really didn't think that we would get here, even though it's been dry and conditions have been definitely promising for fire season. It's been unprecedented, though.
Morit-Jacobs says people have dealt with this in the past, but not to this extent.
When we're talking about Yellowknife evacuating, that's half of the territory. That's 20,000 people overnight. And we have never experienced anything like this at all.
Morit-Jacobs is evacuating without her partner as he stays behind to fight to ensure their home and others are safe.
There are going to be people that want to stay in the communities. You can see he's right now setting up more fire hoses. But if you do have the capacity to stay behind, it's not encouraged. Obviously, there's a reason why people evacuate to get out to make space for first responders. But he has disaster relief training and everything like that. So I feel fairly confident and is able to assist nearby communities if they need help fire smarting and fire breaks as well. But to know that you're going to be separated from your family for an unforeseeable future is something I've never experienced. And, I have a 4-month-old, so definitely will be stories down the road.
As for when people can return home, nobody has an answer just yet.
It would be dangerous for people to return too early, but we don't know. Will this be days? Will this be weeks? On the evacuation alert, it said any folks traveling by air to pack for 5 days, and that was just based on space. But I'm seeing folks on the highway with all of their, personal belongings and some of their memorabilia and valuable possessions. I think people are in it for the long haul and are prepared and will follow orders to return when it is safe.
Daryl Stranger, APTN National News.